Good morning, welcome back to my channel. I have a lot to do today. I have two things that have to get done today. First, I forgot to schedule my weekly field notes post over on Patreon, so I accidentally went over my deadline. So I will check that in a little bit. But first, I'm going to get started on my nature journal because I'm only about halfway done with the illustration for this week, and it needs to go out tomorrow. So I'll show you what I have done so far. Wow. My nature journal ripped open. So this is what I am illustrating. It's a bracket fungi. So I'm happy with it so far, but as I said, we have a lot of work left to do, and I guess at some point today I need to glue my journal back together. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. And it's a beautiful day outside my window. It's a snow day, so I'm gonna have a nice long day sitting at my window looking at all the birds and the snow falling down, and it's really lovely, and I'm excited to start. There's a squirrel on my feeder. So I am gonna be done with the painting. I'll show you what I have. So it's a bracket fungi. I am pretty happy with it. Right now what I'm going to do is fill in the written entry. I have my journal, so I'm just going to transcribe it from my written entry in my journal to my nature journal. So I have finished the spread. So now I'm going to really quick go in and edit my field notes post for Patreon and get that posted. So I've just posted my field notes post on Patreon. I didn't have to do any edits, I just had to add my photos in, so it was a very quick job. And that is my $3 tier if you're interested. Just a reminder, if you're interested in following along with A Year in the Nature Journal, those posts are on Patreon, but they are free. So all you have to do is follow me, and you'll have access to my weekly nature journal spreads. So it is Monday now, and I am just working on sketches for my next page of work for the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I put my trail cam out so we can see the birds, because I have a lot of new birds at the feeder today. Lots of red-winged blackbirds, and I also have a few grackles out there, and I really like grackles. I didn't film any painting. In fact, I didn't work on anything yesterday. So since we had no electricity, we were just in bed all day. So I'm mostly done with my sketch. I have a little bit to add to the turtle. Yeah. So I think I'm going to start with the fox and then the trillium, because those will both be fairly quick for me to paint, and then the mole. And I've never painted a watercolor mole before, so that's going to be interesting. And then I'll probably do the turtle last, just because that will most likely be the most detailed. So I'm going to try to get this page done today, and then tomorrow I can work on the Nature Journal spread for this week. And on this Sunday, it will be the last A Year in the Nature Journal post for January, and Sunday is also the last day of January, so that means that I will be posting a sketchbook tour, monthly nature journal tours, to share what I've been painting. Alright, now that I have the sketch done for this page of illustrations, I'm going to go in with watercolor paint just to line the edges. Now that I've got all of the outlines painted on and they've dried, I'm going to rub them out with an eraser. I also want to say this isn't like a technique that I came up with. It's just a technique that I've seen other watercolor artists using, and I like it. I think it's helpful to get rid of the pencil lines as early in the painting process as possible. And you also want to layer with really thin washes of paint, because it can be difficult to remove the pencil, especially the more paint you have over the top of it. So I've come outside to look for a specimen for this week's nature journal. I was hoping to find a lichen covered stick. Unfortunately, I've just found one and it's covered in ice. So this is in my yard. I haven't gone to the woods yet. But I think I'm going to have a look around and see if I can find anything else. The ice is so crunchy and hard. When I step on it, I can hear it echoing. So I'm just going to stay around the edges since in the past few days branches have been falling and trees have been splitting. Ooh, this is slippery. I'm not going down the hill. Look at the forest, look how pretty. I see a bird. Oh, he flew away. I found a little bird feather. It has a white tip. It might be a mockingbird. I found a Carolina horse nettle next to a teeny weeny little cedar tree. Turkey prints. That's cute. This one's smaller and a little less frozen, so I might take this one with me. These little tracks are so cute. And they're going all over the place. I don't know what those are. Birds? Maybe? Squirrel? I feel like it's too small to be squirrel, but they're all over. Good afternoon. I've just come in from getting my stick. It is very cold outside, but I found pretty much exactly what I'm looking for, and I am planning on spending the rest of the day prioritizing the nature journal spread of this piece. So I have through Saturday basically to work on it, but I don't think this is going to be a simple one to do. So I probably should have started before now. But this morning I was working on another project. So I was putting together my 2026 inspiration board. So it's just a visual reminder of what I am working towards and the things that I want to achieve this year. Yeah, I'll probably show that to you later. Of course, my battery is about to die, so I'm gonna go let my camera charge for a little bit, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna start on my lichen covered twig. So I'll see you in a little bit. Good morning, it is the next day now, and I'm back at my desk to show you what I finished on the lichen covered branch last night. So here's what I have. I think I'm done with the illustration, so all I have to do is add in my written entry, which will just be writing about what I saw when I went out and the specimen that I collected. So I also wanted to show you my inspiration board that I talked about previously. I haven't finished it because my printer ran out of ink, so I'm gonna have to wait to finish printing my pictures, but I'll show you what I have so far. Here's my board. It's just a corkboard that I painted previously, and now I've glued on pictures that represent the things that I want to achieve in this upcoming year. So I'll talk about a few of them. I've already talked multiple times on this channel about how I want to work on building a wildlife garden and getting it certified as a wildlife habitat. So that's on there. That's a big goal. Attracting toads to the garden is a goal as well this year. And I'm getting more into pond and stream life, aquatic life, I guess, amphibians. So we've got frogs, salamanders, and waterway study. Also, these are just images that I got off of Pinterest, except this one. This is Janet Marsh. I took that photo from the back of her book, Janet Marsh's Nature Diary. Over here, I have Fly agaric, which you probably know by now that these are my favorite mushrooms, and it is my goal to see one. I've never seen one in real life before. And I've got a few more things, but maybe I will make a video talking more about my board and sharing my goals for the year. So for the rest of the day, I'm just going to be finishing out my nature journal. So I think I'm going to do that off camera and go ahead and say goodbye. You will see the finished spread as well as all of my other spreads in my upcoming nature journal video on Sunday. Let me know if you would like a video sharing my goals for the new year and talking more about my inspiration board and what all of the photos mean. And I will see you on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.